Hi, I'm Stephanie Borg, and I'll be doing my presentation on Healthy Beginnings Plus. Why I chose Healthy Beginnings Plus was one, because in the ASM program, I volunteered there. When I did my volunteering, I did more community nursing. So I went to people's homes, I did home visits with the nurse, and I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I knew Healthy Beginnings had a prenatal clinic. Another reason I chose Healthy Beginnings is because I'm a labor and delivery nurse, so I do, deal with a lot of pregnant people. However, I don't do a lot of prenatal care, so I thought it would kind of give me more education regarding early pregnancy. The other reason is it's a great opportunity to help the community. So these women come in and they need help with prenatal care. They have a lot of questions, and it gives them the resources they need. And another reason is the continuity of care. The women that go to the clinic will eventually deliver at the hospital where I work. So I'll be able to see and kind of continue following some of the women. The population is low-income pregnant women who qualify for medical assistance. Care can be reimbursed by the medical assistance program. And then I also put they can possibly be pregnant women. They have a free pregnancy test option at the clinic. So you have to be pregnant in order to be able to get care there, but you can, come and see if you are pregnant. The needs of the population. So with any pregnant woman, there's prenatal care, antenatal care, and postpartum care that is needed. Healthy Beginnings does a lot of the prenatal care, or all of the prenatal care, and some postpartum care. They don't do any of the antenatal care, but that's where I come in, and they come to the hospital and they get antenatal care. So I will be able to get kind of the full experience and help the needs of the population. Another need of the population is nutritional counseling. So because of the low income, they might not be able to get the nutrients that they need in order to have a healthy pregnancy. So the nutritional counselor comes in, talks to them, and kind of gets to see what are their needs and how can we help them. It could be by, giving them new options that they can try, or, possibly supplementation if needed. Another need is the population is smoking cessation. So some of the women smoke that comes to the clinic, and this can be a huge issue when it comes to pregnancy. It can decrease the infant weight and all kinds of things that you don't want, when it comes to pregnancy. So it helps, if not stop, decrease smoking. Another need is education regarding pregnancy, birth, and postpartum and newborn care. So again, with anybody that's pregnant, there's so many questions that come along, especially if they're teen moms or really young or it's their first baby. There's so many questions. So this is a need of just pregnant people in general, but definitely it helps give the new moms a lot of resources. And then helps provide family decisions for the family. So once the mom comes in and starts to get prenatal care, she starts to trust the nurse who follows her throughout her whole care there. And so it helps help the family make family decisions, and helps support them in big life changes. So some issues that this population faces is birth control, abortion, single-parent households, mental health, education, and poverty. The two I'm going to touch on today are birth control and abortion. So before the mom even delivers, we start talking about birth control and what they want to do this time, if anything. So they give them the resources they need to get these types of birth control, or prescribes them. The midwife or the doctor can prescribe the birth control that the patient desires. Another social issue comes with abortion. So they don't provide abortions at the clinic. However, moms come in who have had prior abortions. So this can become, they might feel bad about themselves or feel like they'll be judged. At Healthy Beginnings, they're very open and kind. They're non-judgmental on anybody's situation. Political issues right now, a big one is universal health care, along with immigration, abortion, and food stamps. So a lot of these women obviously have to have medical assistance. So universal health care is huge for them. However, for a lot of other people in the community, it's not as big of a deal, or it's a hindrance maybe. So this is a huge political issue that this population faces, as well as abortion. So should it be legal? Should it not be legal? This could affect a mother's decision when it comes to pregnancy, or what they have done in the past. So this could, this is definitely a political issue that they would face. Economical issues, healthcare costs, unemployment, housing, paid sick leave, and minimum wage. the one I really want to touch on is paid sick leave. So a lot of these women most likely don't work at a place where they get a decent amount of paid sick leave. They may get some for after babies there, but they might not get a lot, where those first few months are really, really important for, bonding with your baby and feeding them and taking care of them. So that's a huge issue that this population faces, as well as minimum wage. So if they are making minimum wage, that is hard to provide for the family, especially if it is a single family household. It's really hard to provide with just the minimum wage. That becomes a huge economical issue as well. The cultural issues this population faces is women empowerment, childcare, religion, and language. So one we see a lot is language. There are people that come from different countries, or, they had a big storm in their country, so they're coming to America and getting prenatal care here. But this becomes an issue when they don't speak our language. So a lot of employees at Healthy Beginnings are bilingual and do speak Spanish, which helps, as well as we have resources where we can get an interpreter in, so the patient will ask the questions and they will feel comfortable getting care. Another one is culturally is women empowerment. So in some cultures, the women make no decisions about themselves or for their family or anything like that. So we try to empower women that, if they feel stuck or anything, we give them power to be able to get out of a bad situation. Or if it really is just cultural and they don't make decisions, we support them and let their, husbands make the decisions if that's, how they go. Project design and implementation. So it started out by contacting a midwife that I work with who I knew did centering pregnancy, as well as prenatal cares at the clinic. So I wanted to kind of see if it would be an option for me to kind of shadow her and see what she does there. After she was okay with it, I got it approved by a Healthy Beginnings nurse who we would be working with the centering pregnancy. She was more than okay to have someone else come and kind of help out with the classes. So once we got that all squared away, I was able to do prenatal care and postpartum care with the midwife. So this was before the centering pregnancy classes. So people would come in, make sure everything's going okay with their pregnancy, see how their baby's growing, listen to their baby, and then answer any questions they may have. And then postpartum care is included looking at incisions from a prior C-section, making sure everything looks okay there, as well as taking or looking at stitches from a vaginal delivery as well, and making sure they're okay emotionally and if they have any questions. And then later on in the day, we usually did centering pregnancy. This is where a group of women around the same gestation would come together and get their prenatal care at the same time, and then have a class afterwards, which would include either breastfeeding or newborn care or birth, or even domestic violence. So there's a lot of things that were covered in the centering pregnancy that kind of really gave the women good foundation, as well as I was able to give them some internal information. So working at labor and delivery, I'm able to give them a little bit of what it's like when they come to the hospital. What are the first steps? What should they expect? Things like that they wouldn't necessarily get if they didn't have someone that worked there. So some revisions for the future. So I would want to go to the centering pregnancy groups from session 1. I came around session 4 or 5, and I would have loved to come from session 1 to really get all the knowledge that they got from the beginning. And I would also have liked to bring handouts and information to the moms that we give out at the hospital to give them a little bit more knowledge and more information of what's to come. Another thing I would have liked to change is connecting more with the mothers. So I was, pretty professional and kind of came in as a new teacher. I would have loved to connect more with the moms, kind of got to know them a little bit better so that they felt, maybe more comfortable around me. So my objectives were, at the end of the 30 service learning hours, the learner will be able to demonstrate and perform Leopold's maneuver and Doppler fetal heart tones with the guidance of the midwife. Second is, at the end of the 30 service learning hours, the learner will be able to verbally educate and answer questions regarding prenatal care. And the third one is, at the end of the 30 service learning hours, the learner will identify 4 resources for new mothers. So how I met those objectives were I went to all the prenatal visits with the midwife. She taught me more about the Leopold maneuver and the 4 maneuvers that go along with it. And learning that, I was able to kind of know how the baby's laying inside mom and find where that back is, and that's how you're able to Doppler the heart rate a little bit better. I went to most of the centering pregnancy groups, so I was able to learn more about prenatal care and answer questions about prenatal care, and also about labor, delivery, epidurals, what it's going to be like, things like that. And some of the resources that Just Healthy Beginnings have is nutritional services, smoking cessation, women's health clinic, and breastfeeding. So these are just at Healthy Beginnings. However, there are classes in the community that can help the mothers as well. Impacting the population. So it impacts them by getting early and often prenatal care, which is so important when it comes to pregnancy. There's things that we find in prenatal care that can change the outcome of labor and delivery and all those things. It also educates about pregnancy, breastfeeding, and newborn care. So this is with anybody who's pregnant, but especially, the young moms, the first-time moms. It gives them a lot of information, which is a great foundation to start their new lives with. It also decreases smoking. So this is a huge one, how it impacts the community, it impacts their family, it impacts the baby. So in decreasing the smoking, it can help better their lives and their baby's lives. Emotional support. So the nurse who follows them through their whole care is there, and she is able to support them and answer questions, and they can call in if they have concerns. And also the camaraderie with the other mothers of the same gestation. They are all feeling the same thing at the same time. They know what it's like, and so they have each other to kind of support each other with. Personal impact, it increased my perspective on low-income families. So I did volunteer there before, but it made me aware of some of the trials and challenges there are when you come from a low-income family, as well as just the trials that come with pregnancy. I've never been pregnant, so I don't really know those. So it kind of opened my eyes to what it's like to be pregnant and some of the things that come along with it. As well as emotional support. I felt like I was able to kind of support the moms, even though we didn't connect a ton, but it helped kind of that I was able to support them in things that I did know about. And also the dedication of the healthcare workers. So that was like the nurses who followed them from start to finish. They are dedicated to their patients, and they really do care about them. Professional impact is increase the knowledge of prenatal care. So I don't know a ton about prenatal care, but definitely helped me learn more about it, as well as Leopold's maneuvers and Dopplering. My professional impact also was the continuity of care, which I got to see some of those moms when they're in the hospital delivering, which was really, really cool, as well as understanding the resources in the community. So this helped the moms from Healthy Beginnings, but as well as moms that don't go there but just needed a little more help with breastfeeding or wanted to know more about where they can learn about stopping smoking and things like that. So I was able to help that in my professional life. Thanks for listening.